Good evening, friends. After many days, I'm in front of you. Of course, I did one event. So, of course, I've been doing the event with our PMS customers, but unfortunately, I could not do with you people. Either I was traveling or the evening slots are not available for me to do a webinar. But I'm going to do that. So, what I'm going to do today, I'm going to make my presentation very short and sweet. Why? Because you have many questions to ask, and if I make my presentation a little longer, then it reduces our interaction a little small. So things are changing very fast globally. Yesterday I was making a presentation with our PMS customer and I said that 85% probability 25 bips rate cut, and I'm going to show you today how that number has come down and 50 bips point has gone up. So who would have thought one and a half month back that Trump would have a tough chances of becoming a US president, and now after Kamala Harris coming in, the situation looks to be a little absolutely different. And I will show you some of the charts also of what's happening in the IPO market and how things are changing very fast. So before going much detail, let me first start with my disclaimer. This webinar is only to enhance your understanding about the equity market. Please consult your financial advisor before buying or selling any stock. Investment in securities market are subject to market risk, and please remember that historical returns are no indicator of a future returns. With this, look at it. What happened to the rate cut now? Yesterday when I was doing a webinar with our PMS customers, this number was 85%. 85%, huh? Which came down to 55. And 50 bips rate cut was only 15% probability. Now it's gone to 45% probability. Now there is a big debate. And I know you people must be having this question in your mind. So let me try to preempt that question. What is good? Is it 25 bips rate cut is good? Or is it 50 bips rate cut is good? And I must confess in front of all of you, I don't have any answer to that. It all depends upon how market react to that information on that day to decide what the trajectory could be. 50 bips rate cut would mean that Fed was behind the curve. It would also mean that economy is not looking that great. If it is 25 bips and the market was expecting 50, then it may get rejected. So I don't know how market is going to react to that. And as I told you, the things are changing extremely fast. And hence my request to all of you, do not try to read too much into this. Let the event happens. Let's see what happens to the numbers and then basically decide. But I'll give you another interesting data point. What happens when the rate cuts happen? Okay, there are 3 occasions, in last 20 years or so where the rate cut took place. One is 2001, and then we saw this. What you see, this is a rate cut happening, and what you see is this line, shaded line, is recession. Something similar in 2007, the rate cut happened and then we saw a recession happening. 2019, when the rate cut was done, we did not see much of a slowdown in the economy. But this time, what happens to the US economy? And I think that's a big debate that everyone is talking about. Kya hoga? And historically also, if you look at the market, did not react positively after rate cut. See, things are happening in a very odd manner. What tells it logically, and what's happening is little different. When there is a rate cut, when there was a rate hike, people thought automobiles should not do well. Real estate should not do well. Why? Because people buy houses on the EMIs. And yet real estate has one of the best time in India I'm talking about. Am I right? there is no guarantee that if there is a rate cut, that things would be logically it should do well, but not necessarily. So somewhere the logics are being defied. I don't know why, but what we have been taught in economics is not playing out in the real life, and that surprises. Hence, I am not going to venture out and make any prediction what's going to happen with the rate cut and the economy. Yesterday with our PMS customers, I was showing two data. That crude oil price are at 3 years low. Of course, in last couple of days, it has gone up a little bit. Copper prices are down after touching a high. Now, these are two commodities which clearly suggest the state health of the economy, world economy, because these are both the commodities are the global commodities. We also know that when you look at of course in India also we have seen some GST collection almost at stagnant. Automobile are struggling to report growth, and today I was reading an article which says that discounts are being offered and so on and so forth. Things are very, very dynamic and extremely dynamic to make any sense. So, take the data as it comes. And one of the best ways to basically, if you can afford to do it, not many people will be able to do that. Am I right? So when you do meditation, what happens? You are absolutely cut off from the outside world. Am I right? There could be noise. There would be anything which is happening. You are just concentrating on your breathing exercise, everything, inhale and in out. You are cutting the noise, outside noise. If you can do that in the equity market, please do that. Cut the outside noise. Focus on what you have in your portfolio and see whether it merits to be the part of the portfolio, because things are going to be, it's very dynamic. As I told you yesterday, if you would have asked me, can 85 become 55%, my answer would have been no. But that's the reality. Even I can't recollect this kind of a fluctuation happen in less than 24 hours in the past. So that's a very dynamic things are happening. Now we all know Resourceful Automobile. This company stole the limelight because of huge oversubscription. 4,500 crore worth of subscription this SME IPO got with 8 employees, 2 Yamaha store showrooms. Look at the price. 122 has gone down to 87. That means almost 30% decline in less than 1 month. For the company which has received so many times oversubscription. The reason I'm sharing this data, because we all get overexcited in the market. Time is to play little cautious. I'm not saying things are going to go bad. I'm saying market has not gone down by 30%, but this company, which is 1 month back, this company was the most sought after company, right? Because 4,500 subscription has been received, of worth amount of received has been received. What happened? But that's not the only company. Ola Electric is down by 23% in 1 month, less than 1 month actually. After touching 146, it came down to 113 today. And when was this? Somewhere about 17th, 18th August, 146 price. 23% down. Scrip went up from 91 to 146. And please be, if you have honest to yourself, please write down how many people basically bought Ola in the rising market to make quick bucks. I'm not saying company is bad or something. What I'm trying to say is I want to drive home the point is very simple. Be careful of what you get into the. I want, as a well-wisher of yours, I don't want to get into a wrong company which then wait becomes endless for you. That's the only reason I'm sharing these details with you. Monsoon has been doing well. I think we should all see a better agri output coming out. this year. Water reservoir levels are very good, so that means hydropower will also be better. I think, and the very fact that La Nina has got postponed to in the month of November as compared to September, that means we should not expect excess rain also, which otherwise could have spoiled the food grain. Even indices performance, what comes as a surprise to me is that the Sensex has outperformed the mid cap in last 1 week. And yesterday, if I would have presented data, was a little different. But realty index is down by 1.3%. This is a sector which has been done extremely well. And YTD, again, major and small caps have done extremely well as compared to Nifty 50 and the Sensex. Nifty PAC is, I think this is, data seems to be, Nifty 50 PAC may not be down by 11.3%. I need to check this data. I think there's some mistake in this data, looks like. Okay, nonetheless. FIs have gone extremely positive. 27,000 crore, 28,000 crore they've invested in the month of September. In the month of August, the fag end they've turned little aggressive, and I think the amount of aggressiveness that they are showing is unprecedented. In fact, even I was surprised with that figure of 28,000 crore. Okay, and last but not the least, those who are waiting for the markets. Of course, this market has done extremely well. If you look at Indian market in the month of September, will more outlier along with Russia, where other markets are little in red, but Indian market has been in a green basically. But there's one data which I compiled, which I presented to our PMS customers also. The mutual fund sitting on the cash pile. In the month of January, they were 1.1 lakh crore. Money which was, they have not invested, that money has gone to 1.93 lakh crore in the month of August. What does this mean? That this money is waiting on the sideline and waiting for the corrections to happen. If it has the correction happens, this money can immediately come back to the market. On the top of it, every month the mutual fund industry is getting about 30,000 crore. And we saw what amount of money FIs are putting in. So what I'm trying to say is that liquidity is so strong in the market. If at all there is a correction in the market, market will bounce back. Of course, you need to be stock specific, stock selective in that, because I don't want you to get into company like resourceful, automotive kind of a stuff. Then your wait becomes a little longer to do that. Am I right? But of course, be careful what you get into and invest in that sense. But I want to harp on the point is that a lot of money lying at the sideline. This is only the mutual fund. Then you look at the AIF, you look at the PMS, you look at the insurance. That money must also be in retail investors like you and me, who must be waiting for the corrections to happen. And as the correction happens, they want to pump in that money. So the huge amount of money is waiting at the sideline for market to correct. We don't know when. And if at all there is a correction, remember one point. Market is not going to remain at the low level for long. Why? Because the money which is waiting at the sideline will come back immediately, and that will lift the market. So if at all there is a correction, if at all, it would be for a very brief period. That's what my sense is. Purely based on the data. In fact, someone sent me a very interesting, WhatsApp in the morning, and let me read if I can, tell you that. Let me see what it says. So it says very nice thing. We are waiting for correction, and correction is waiting for our patience. That's a line that someone has sent me. That's a thing. So I think this is the thing. So today I wanted to convey to all of you: do not expect major corrections in the market purely based on the new data that has come in and which I've understood. If at all there is a correction, I think market will bounce back very strongly in no time, because huge liquidity is there in the market. And I don't see this liquidity drying up so soon. So yes, markets are expensive, but who knows? This could be the new normal for the market. With this, let's open the floor for question answer. Deepen is saying market has been going up and up, and valuation across the board seems to be sky high. Should I put some new money into the market right now or wait for the correction, however long it takes? Also, you have said probably 3 months back that you will inform us whenever such opportunity arrives. Do you think opportunity is going to come anytime soon? Depends, sir. I think I've tried to preempt you. I did mention I don't expect any major corrections purely because of. So I agree with you. The valuations are rich. There is no denial of that. Who knows? This could be the new normal in the market. Why? Because you look at mutual fund inflow, you look at FI inflow, you look at retail investors, direct investment in the market. I think it's all basically it's a liquidity driven, and I don't see that liquidity drying up very soon. For some reason, and I do believe that RBI will cut the rate of interest in the month of October. That will further reduce the attractiveness of the FDs, fixed deposit, and hence the money which otherwise would have gone to the FD may come to the equity market. So my sense is very clear cut. Don't wait for the correction. Please go ahead and invest. That's what my advice would be. Don't wait for the correction. The only thing my request would be, please invest in a good quality company. That's what my advice would be. Madan sir is saying, what is the outlook on the banking sector, stocks in the expected rate cut scenario? So my sense is that banking, so if you look at, there has been some amount of a reversal happening in the banking sector. And what is the happening in this one is that the PSU banks are underperforming, but the what we call private sector banks have started making some amount of a comeback. So my sense is that in the private sector banks, it seems to be making some amount of gain. So some people are locking in some profits within the PSU bank and diverting that funds to the private sector banks. So my advice would be go for the private sector banks as compared to the public sector banks. But you are right, rate cut should logically benefit the what we call NBFCs also and the banks also. Logically, that should happen. And I stand corrected. The data on PSE is wrong, YTD. I just checked the data. It seems the data has been provided wrong there. My apology for that. Satish is saying Q1 results for most of the industrial stocks are muted. Reason given is the heat wave and election. What is will the results improve in Q2? So looks a little difficult right now, Satish sir, that we should expect a robust growth in the Q2. I think one problem that industry is facing is a labor shortage. If you happen to listen to the L&T con call post Q1 numbers, they did mention about that there is a labor shortage. So input costs have really come down. Let me be very honest with you. But the numbers may not be looking so great. But of course, the order books are good and so on and so forth. And the government also started giving new orders. So it's going to happen. But do you expect very substantial improvement in Q2? My answer is no. Second thing, during monsoon also, the industrial stocks, the activity at the construction level do take some amount of a beating. So don't expect very great numbers even in Q2. William Charles, how the Nifty performance will be in the coming weeks, sir? Thank you. Sir, if you are trying to figure it out what's going to happen on Nifty 50 on a week-to-week basis, then probability is very high that you might lose money. So my request would be have a little long-term view. Our sense is that markets should do extremely well in a medium to long term. 1 week, what happened? No one has a clue actually, to be very honest with you. And even I don't have a clue. I don't claim to be an expert what can happen to the next week. But I do know that in case if there is a correction in the market, there is a lot of money which is waiting on the sideline will come in, which will again lift the market high. So my overall sense is that you need to remain constructively positive on the Indian market. Ayappan sir is saying, thanks for Mojo guidance. The Mojo stocks entering and removed in very short period of time. Unless these are good stocks for a longer time. Many stocks removed in 1 week. Why like that? I'm not really able to purchase or not. So Ayappan sir, we have said it time and again. The score, if it is above 70, And if we satisfy the condition to become a Mojo stock, those companies become a Mojo stock. And the moment the score goes below 70, there is no manual intervention. Automatically score goes out of the Mojo stock list. Why? Because to remain as a Mojo stock, the score has to be minimum 70. Am I right? Now the question is that it's not been rebooted, it happens automatically. But should you sell if it is going out of the Mojo stock list? The answer is no. And we have explained time and again in the past also, please continue to hold that stock. Why am I saying so? Because those stocks, even if we have recommended these companies in our model portfolio, they were not getting out of that. Wait till the score goes below 60 or so. And even when it goes below 60, please see if the price is moving up or moving down. Because many times we have retained the stock in our model portfolio if the score is below 60, but the price is moving up. So that time too, please go ahead and buy Mojo stock without worrying about whether this company is going to exit Mojo stock list in 7 days or 8 days or 1 month or not. Please don't do that. Please go ahead and buy. They are good quality stocks and you can remain invested. We have not seen that company basically soon get out of a model portfolio if it has entered as a part of the Mojo stock. So please go ahead and buy Ayyappan's. I'm very clear in terms of my answers to you, sir. Out IPO outlook seems to be lottery. David says Edelweiss started a new IPO mutual fund. What is your view? My request is that be careful in what you get into IPO also. That's number one. Yes, it's become a lottery. But आप सोचो ना 4,200 करोड़ का जो 5,000 करोड़ इसको जो ऑटोमोबाइल कंपनी को मिला, resourceful automobile, that was also lottery on them, right? But what happens? So my sense is that yes, things are looking little, people are getting a little overexcited with the IPO market. I would not be so much comfortable. I'd be extremely choosy in terms of what company I would like to have from the IPO market as a part of my portfolio. And Edelweiss has started a new mutual IPO fund. What is your view? Sir, I have not looked at it. I don't comment on, but I don't think we have a score also on that our website. But I would be very, very careful. Will I put my money? Answer is no. I hope that if that gives you answer, then so be it. Gauri Sankar says almost all indexes are at an all-time high, but our portfolio is unable to move up with the index. Could you please comment? Not necessarily all portfolios are unable to move up with the index. Yes, there are some portfolios which may be unable to. It's also a function of construct, when it has been started and so on and so forth. If it has not done well, there is not necessarily that they will not be moving ahead going forward. So have patience. We are very confident of our IP. If it has not moved up, it's all the more reason it should move up significantly going forward. Because not all strategy will perform all the time. Am I right? But when you look at the block of 3 years, Gauri Sankar ji, we have observed that they do extremely well as compared to the benchmark. Durgesh is saying, what is your view on public sector? Do they offer valued credit valuations? So we were owning one public sector bank in our PMS also. We made good money on that, let me be very honest with you. And we did lock in the profits. As I was explaining you, there seems to be some amount of a profit booking seems to be happening in the PSU bank. Just to give an example, in last 1 month, the PSU bank index is down by 1.26%. Am I right? On the other end, if I look at last 1 month, the bank nifty is up by 4.23%. So there has been some amount of a divergence that is happening, not only with the PSU bank. I think PSU as a basket, there is some amount of profit booking seems to be happening. So my advice would be, I'm not saying every PSU bank is bad, but be careful within the PSU bank what you wish to get into. If the price to book value is good, reasonable, if the ROA, return on assets, are going to improve, please go ahead. But overall as a basket, it gives me an understanding or gives me a feeling that there is some amount of profit booking happening, and if that is so, it may underperform for a certain period of time. Umesh is saying, what is the drawdown in Nifty if it happens, and what is your revised downward for Nifty, which can be around 19? Umesh sir, I don't think we will touch 19,000, because to reach 19,000, then it's a correction, because it will be more than 20%. So I don't think the downside risk, which I talked about in the beginning of January, beginning of 2024, of 19,000 doesn't look like going to happen. I don't know what is the downside, because this market is showing great amount of resilience. Just look at first week of August, when this yen carry trade episode came up. The Japanese market went down, the US market went down. Indian markets shown a lot of resilience, purely because of the liquidity that is there. So I don't expect much downside, to be very honest with you, in the Nifty 50 level as we speak. 19,000 is 100% ruled out at this point of time. So don't try to time the market. That's what my advice would be. If your money is lying on the sideline, please go and put it, because it looks like the market is not going to budge. But only request, invest in the good quality company where the fundamental story remains intact. Don't go with the momentum. My request to all of you, don't go chase the momentum stocks. Ramakant sir is saying, gold and silver are showing an increasing trend. Is it a good time to have a good allocation in this? If it is 10 to 15%, then don't increase allocation to gold and silver. If it is less than that, please go ahead. But I wouldn't recommend too much allocations to the gold and silver, purely because it's going up. That may not be the right strategy. 10 to 15 assets allocation. If it is not below that, please increase. If it is above that, don't increase. Arif is saying, which sector will benefit from the rate cut considering already high valuation in the IT sector? So Arif said, what we have observed logically, the real estate should do well, am I right? Because a lot of people buy house on EMI. Consumer durable should do well, because people, you buy 55-60% of the whole consumer durable I bought on EMI. So they should do well. Banks should do well. NBFC should do well. But it's not so simple equation कि ये हुआ तो ये होगा. So I think there are whether permutations and combinations that's going to play out. So because of rate cut, should you buy one particular sector? My answer would be no, because we should also consider what are the other factors at play at that point of time. So what could happen? This could be one would be positive, another three factors are negative, and then basically it nullifies the effect of the rate cut. So my request would be, look at the valuation of the sector, look at the growth story. Don't make only the interest rate as a factor to decide whether I should go and buy more into that particular sector or not. If you do that, probability is very high that you will lose money with this strategy. Rajiv is saying, now that the market has taken a stand to start investing in small and mid caps, can we start investing in small, same in a personal portfolio? Kindly suggest. Please, sir, go ahead. Please go ahead and start investing in mid and small cap, but careful with the stocks that you select. Again, I repeat, today the stock selection needs higher scrutiny, purely because of many small and mid and small cap. I don't want to get and chase that momentum story. We all suffer from recency bias that one company has done very well in the recent past. It will continue to do very well going forward also, not necessarily. And my worry is that if you do that, you will end up losing a big time money in the market. So I don't want you to do that. Be careful of what you get into, and that's what my request would be. Stock specific, I think, assumes a great amount of importance in this market. That's what my advice would be. Anil is saying, nice to hear your roughly after a week. Please advise me on Bajaj Finance IPO. Should we get an out on listing date or wait? See, this is what the mindset has become, Anil sir. We are all aiming for the listing gains. I must tell you that if I would be in a place, I would not sell out. Okay, purely because I think this company has a great potential. This management has a lot of clarity of thoughts in terms of how they wish to play out the business. And housing finance as a segment, after HDFC, you don't have a good quality housing finance company in the country which you can take a stake on. So So I think that benefit will come to Bajaj Housing Finance. My sense is that I believe, so while I may not be so great bullish on the real estate as a sector, but I do believe housing finance as a segment should do well, because a lot of people aspiration levels are really high to own a house. And if that is so, people will buy a house on a housing, will buy a house, and housing loan is a critical. So my sense is that please don't get out on listing again. That's what my advice. So if I would be in your place, I would not do it. But as I told you, please consult your financial advisor before buying and selling any stock. Atul, can I sell large cap stocks with expensive value? Can I buy mid cap stock with fair valuation? You should do that, Atul ji. I think it's a fair way of creating an alpha on the portfolio. The only thing, sometimes some expensive stock may continue to remain expensive for a longer period of time, purely because of the growth that is expected in that company. So in other words, if the growth is going to be so strong that valuation of expensive may sustain the expensive. Why? Because the growth is very, very high. So my advice would be, look at valuation in conjunction with the growth expected from that company. And if the growth is going to remain robust, company can sustain that higher valuation. And same logic mid cap also. If the growth is not so great, even if the company may be fair valuation, it may underperform. Why? Because the market is not expecting growth happening in that sector. So valuation look in conjunction with the growth expected from that company in the next 6 to 9 months. Zambia is saying, sir, what looking at data shown by you, what will be your new year target for Nifty now? I to be very honest with you, I have not applied my mind, but I think the way market has been moving up, it would be futile for me to basically make any year-end target for Nifty and Sensex. We are almost 3.5 months away from the Nifty for the year end. I don't know. Last 1 month the market has gone up by 5%. So if you look at it, if I just look at simple way, and if you look at the YTD, the market is up by 15-16%. Am I right? So I wouldn't be surprised if market further go up by 5% by a year end. But that's not the target. But this is what I personally believe, because the liquidity is so strong in the market that I don't. And what has happened? Normally the market start moving up from Diwali, before Diwali time or so, because the good festive season also percolate down to the good sentiment on the market. So I wouldn't be surprised further 5 to 7% jump from this level by year end. Shyam Sundar says, is the definition of good quality company different for major stock, stock of the week, stock and PMS stock? If yes, what are the key differences? So if you look at our Mojo stocks, the quality of the company has to be good. Even if it is an average quality, it cannot become a Mojo stock, despite score can be above 70. That rule is not applied to the stock of the week and the PMS stock. In fact, stock of the week could be also be scored as sale on the MarketsMojo site, and yet we recommend that company. Am I right? And in PMS also, we do invest in companies which having a average quality stock. So, different IP, different logic, that's how it works. I hope that answers your question, Shyam Sundarji. PK Seth is saying, with so many IPOs in the pipeline, will with RL having a bonus, you think government will or should sell the stakes to reduce market liquidity? Your views? Okay, you are trying to say, I'm getting confused with your question, because you are not referring to the government selling RIL stake, because I don't think government of India has a stake in the RIL. What I think you are trying to say is that the market is very, very strong. Should government of India divest the stake? I think there was one article which was coming that government of India is thinking of creating an sovereign wealth fund. And maybe the government may divest that stake to the sovereign wealth fund, and then sovereign wealth fund can basically at appropriate time can sell in the market. That could happen. So I think that's the approach government of India is likely to take. But will government of India should reduce? I think they will do it. That's what my sense is. At the appropriate time, they will also try to see how best we can use the rally in the market to lock in some of the profits. So yes, it will happen. But will it happen through FPO? I doubt that's going to happen. I think it will greatly go to the sovereign wealth fund, and that sovereign wealth fund, as and when the need is, keep diluting the stake to raise the funds. That's what my sense is. So what used to happen in the past, I don't think that's going to happen going forward. That's what my sense said, sir. Kirti Kumar, for how much time AMC can hold cash? So there is no timeline been defined by the regulator. They can hold on for a couple of months also. They can hold on for a couple of quarters also. It's all depending upon the fund manager's comfort level and understanding about the market. In fact, today morning, afternoon, I had one review with our PMS customer, and he was asking me, Warren Buffett had taken a cash call and sitting on a huge pile of cash. And I was making him understand it's not that he's huge pile of cash only in 2024. It was the case in 2023 also. That was the case in 2022 also, and that was the case in 2021 also. The only thing, the quantum has gone up, and the cash pile was there even then. So there is no what we call restriction that within 3 months you are supposed to deploy, within 6 months you are going to deploy. No, there is no restriction which I am aware of. Udayan Nag Singh, I read that as per the data right after Fed rate cut announced there would be a correction, not crash. How much true is that, sir? Uday sir, I just presented data that normally the market has not gone conducive for the bull. It normally has turned out to be a little logic se bolta hai ki rate cut hota the market should do well. Am I right, Uday sir? But markets behave in a little different manner. And I presented my data in my presentation. But I don't want to jump to the conclusion. As I told you, the things are changing extremely fast, globally also and sentiment-wise also. Don't try to read too much into what's going to happen. Correction hoga, crash hoga. Don't go there. Hold on to the good quality companies, whether there's a correction or not. If you are in a good company, you will make a lot of money eventually. There could be some amount of corrections, but eventually, I have not sold a single share in March 2020 crash when COVID hit us. Market did go down. How does it matter? Because you eventually made money. 2008 something very similar. Year 2000 very similar. So don't see, my worry is that you people are trying to try to time the market, try to predict what's going to happen. Based on that, we are trying to take a call. Unfortunately, no one has a handle on that. I was talking to one of our PMS customers today again in our review, and I was telling him that one of the leading broking firm and very famous strategist came out with a report in last September that mid and small caps are overvalued. We are in September 2024. Where is the corrections happening? So my sense is that don't try to analyze too much. Focus on the strategy. Focus on the good quality company available at a good valuation. Please go ahead and buy. That's the way I should look at it. What I've realized, the moment you try to have a view on the market, then sometimes you miss out on the rally. Sometimes you miss out on buying a good quality company. So focus on the company rather than focusing on the market. That's the simple one-line message I would like to convey to all of you. Naveen sir says, is there any mandate by SEBI to disclose PMS holding after a certain period? I see that few MS publicly giving webinars around their holdings. Can you throw some light on this? So I don't think there is a mandate by SEBI to disclose the PMS holding. But to our PMS investors, we must disclose. Okay. So what you are owning in your PMS account, it has to be disclosed. It's a compulsory. There is nothing. So we send an email to all our customers at the end of the month. And we also have a website where they can see what they're holding at the end of the month. At the same time, NSD or CDSL also send across statement to you every month, am I right? In that, they will also include your PMS holding in that statement, so you come to know what is your holding. But overall, what we are holding, there is no compulsion. Why? Because I'll tell you why. So we don't have a standard model portfolio strategy. In other words, each PMS customer in our PMS strategy may have a different holding altogether. Even the weightage, even if the stocks are same, the weightage could be different. And hence, you might see holding in PMS, but you see money में तो holding में है ही नहीं. Am I right? So that creates a confusion. So, but individually, there is no SEBI guideline says that you need to disclose. But for individual customer, yes, it is a mandatory. And we do send across that information to all our customers. Raj, from your vast experience, do you believe that the current valuations are feature than they were ever been? And as the liquidity chases limited liquidity stocks in the equity markets, the price can only rise, leading to a vicious cycle. Where do you think this is going to stop, and what should your strategy be? So, Raj sir, it's not that this market in the past also has gone frothy. Market in the past will also become extremely rich. The one philosophy that really has created good wealth for me is that I talk about sector rotation in the market. Some sectors will do well, some sectors will not do well. Am I right? It's a good strategy what you should look at it. Which companies, even though the market has gone up, has that company from that particular sector has gone up or not? Is there a value in that company or not? And don't try to look at, because see, you don't have enough data. So macro क्या होने वाला है, sector क्या होने वाला है? Look at the company. Is this company deserves to be in my portfolio at this price? Forget about the overall valuation of the market. Overall valuation of the market. Look at the present valuation of that company that you are getting into. If that company makes sense to invest in them at this point of time, please go ahead and invest. If the market corrects, that company may also correct. But it will bounce back immediately. Why? Because of the pure valuation metrics that company has. And that's the philosophy I want everyone to follow. So don't try to do too much analysis on the macros and the sector and those, because it's all futile. I've realized in my career, it's all futile. What makes sense? Because ultimately your returns are not decided by what the market returns are. Am I right? Your returns are decided by what you are holding in the portfolio. And hence what you hold in the portfolio is of a paramount importance than what happens to the market. I have met investors, knowledgeable investors, started investment journey in 1991. The market has gone up by 81 times, 82 times from there. The portfolio has not gone up by 82 times. Purely because the stock selection was extremely choppy or wrong. Now that's why I again keep saying to investors time and again, don't be the victims of recency bias. Someone had asked me about the defense fund. Is one of the leading mutual fund player. I don't know where I will get that mutual fund ka data. Okay, let me just, this defense fund by one of the leading AMC came out, and I've been informed that mutual fund that defense fund is almost down by 15-20%. Okay, let me just see if I can see. I don't invest in mutual funds, so I know I'm little challenged in that sense. One second, sir, because I'm searching. I'm not getting it. See, first thing, I'm not very used to the mutual fund side only. And then it's also, I don't know where it is. I think it's not been listed. Is that? Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see what has happened to the... return. Okay, let me see what the return summary. In 1 month is down by that defense fund is 4.2%, but I think it's down by 15-16%. So that's again recency bias. Don't be the victim of. Don't assume that sector that has done well is going to do well unless there is a reason for fundamental reason to do that. And many places, many times we realize that, like just to give an example, in 2022, chemical was the name of the game. The market is much higher than what level we were 2022, but many of the chemical companies are much below than what they were at that point of time. Same way, some of the sectors are running a little ahead of the fundamentals today. Be careful. Why? But the market will still further go up in next 3 years, but those companies may not move up only. In other words, chase those sectors or those companies which may not have participated in this rally. With this rally, the last 1.5 year rally. But the fundamentals of that companies are likely to be very good, or they are going to improve their performance. Chase those companies to create wealth and alpha on the portfolio. My name is Anup. I wanted to say thanks from my dad's side. He started Waterford for in 2020. His portfolio is double in 2 years. So nice of you, sir. That's very good news to hear that. He is very happy and wanted to convey his regards to you. Thank you for your valuable advice and thank you for the MarketsMojo team. Thanks a lot, Anup sir. I'm very glad that your dad has doubled the money in 2 years. And that's the kind of delight we want to create for each and every investors in this country. I'm happy, sir. Please convey our gratitude to your dad also. And we take his, what we call, regards with great humbleness. Thanks a lot, sir. Yes. Nagarajan, thank you for your valuable input about equity market. Recently, all stocks are moving higher every day, and Mojo stocks changing frequently from buy to hold. Why? Please advise. Is it right time to exit and hold only Mojo stock 70 above points companies? So Nagarajan sir, I think you have asked me two different questions. So let me try to answer that both this one. I'm just looking at the 1 second. And I'm trying to figure it out what the returns of that the defense company, because I'm now, since someone has asked me, so I thought let me. So it's down by 11% or so. Okay. Yeah. So your question about all stocks are moving higher every day and Mojo score changing frequently from buy to hold. Not all. Okay. See, our score is a function of 4 parameters: quality, valuation, recent quarterly financial performance, and the technical. Now, CFT change can happen, score can come only 4 times in a year when the quarterly results are there. And many times the quality is a function of CFT. So these 2 factors are more medium to long term. But 2 factors which changes can change daily. One is the valuation, another is the technical. And because of that, the score can change. Am I right? That's one. And your second part of the question is it right time to exit and hold only Mojo score 70 and above? No, in fact, I answered someone. The score going below 17 Mojo stock is not a sell. You can still hold on till even if the score is 60 and the price is moving up. So don't do that. Please continue to hold if it is a Mojo stock and score has gone down to 68, 65 also, you can continue to hold. No need to exit from those companies. Hetal Kumar is saying, do you still invest in 3 parts or in one go in PMS? No, we are investing in one go. In fact, we had came out with the triple strategy and we abandoned that. So we are investing at one go. In fact, we had 10% in liquid funds also. That also we exited. We now started reinvesting in the money in million small cap also. So investing at one go. Nimesh, in many stocks it shows buy after stock moved up by 50 and 100%. Why, please? Not catching stocks early, Sunil sir. So Nimesh sir, what you should look at it, कितना ऊपर गया है and become a buy is not the way to look at it. और कितना बढ़ सकता है आगे जाके, I think that's the way you should look at it. I'll give a very classical example. Those days I used to present stock of the month, so I can talk about it. The one company that we recommended was Garden Ridge as a stock of the month, if you remember that. And at that point of time, many of you asked me a question, अरे ये कंपनी तो इतना बढ़ गया है, अभी क्यों आप रिकमेंड कर रहे हो हमको as a stock of the month? And we all know that company is up by almost 260% from that level, maybe in a 18 months or so. Something similar happened when we had recommended, Warren Beverages. And that company is almost up by more than 400% in last 3 years or so. And still, the call is still open, both Warren Beverages and Garden Ridge. So it's not necessarily कि script कितना ऊपर गया हुआ है, आगे कितना और ऊपर जाएगा. I think that's what we need to look at. So don't look at the rear view mirror. Look at the from the windshield of कितना आगे जाने की संभावना है. And that's the way. So even if the script has gone up 50%, 100%, if the company still has a lot of leg room to move up, why not to buy that company? And that's how we should look at it. So I again repeat, never take a call on company based on what it has happened in the recent past. वो recency bias वाला मैं बताया आपको. Look at what is the potential going on. And I'll give classical example. I was having a debate with someone about one of the company, and the debate was happening internally only in our leadership team. अरे ये कंपनी तो बढ़ा ही नहीं है, 3 months is underperform, 6 months is underperform, 1 year is underperform, why are we buying that company? Now, is that the way we should look at it? The answer is no. That's not the way. What is the future potential that company has to generate the returns? And if that is so, please go ahead. तो फिर क्या फर्क पड़ता है 50% ऊपर गया कि 100% ऊपर गया? अगर आगे जाके भी 100% ऊपर से, why not to buy? Why to miss out on that really? I hope that answers, Nimesh sir, your question. Devendra, I am tempted to ask this question. Please go ahead. All the parties who are asking questions on whether to invest, are they not Mojo One customers? They can simply use the model portfolio which are so effective. Just sharing my experience. Hope it helps some of them. Thanks a lot, sir, for asking this question. They may be Mojo One's customers. I don't know. I don't get the data. The person who is asking me a question, is it a paid subscriber or not paid subscriber? This QnA with Sunil Damania is open for everyone. Those who are not our subscriber also of Mojo One. But we are right, So once you know what strategy you need to follow, then follow that strategy in a disciplined manner. So if you are following model portfolio, please follow that strategy. Like someone double the money in 2 years. Am I right? There's a live example. I'm getting it from Anup that you asked. So this one, someone only follow Mojo stocks, someone follow our momentum now, someone follow model turnaround strategy, reliable performance, so on and so on. Define strategy that suits you, but please follow the strategy in a very disciplined manner. And that's what I would request all of you to follow that. Which is best, mutual fund or PMS? Datta Swarip is asking. See, if you don't have 50 lakhs, the mutual fund is the best way to do about it. If you have a 50 lakhs and you don't need that money for next 3 to 5 years, come to the PMS. Why? Because probability is very high that PMS may outperform as compared to the mutual fund. Having said that, even mutual fund can outperform. And also is a question of temperament. See, what I've observed also many times, Datta sir, many times the customer come to the PMS. So he logically should be behaving like an HNI. But many times the customer behave like a retail investors. So it's also a question of mindset. Do you have a mindset of a HNI investors? If the answer is no, please remain invested in mutual fund only. Even though paisa kam banega, so be it. But at least you will be, because it goes well with your temperament. Otherwise, I've seen many times, you invest 1 crore also, But if you are going to behave like a retail investors, then what's the point coming to the PMS? Because PMS is meant for the HNI investors, not for the retail investors. So first thing, forget about the money. First you define whether you have a temperament or not. If you don't have a temperament, please don't come to the PMS. Then the better for you is mutual fund. Shyam Singh, I wanted to express my appreciation for the performance of the previously launched Diwali portfolio, which has yielded excellent results. Given its success, am I curious to know if there are any plans to launch a new portfolio this Diwali? Excellent question, sir. I have no idea, sir, to be very honest with you. You should ask Mohit Batra this question because he is the best person to answer that. Logically, if you ask me, logically he should do that. Why? Because it has done extremely well, the Diwali portfolio. And if I would be in his place, I would definitely do that. But having said that, I am not the right person to answer that question. So that's why I will not. Please request, my request, Mohit would be in front of you maybe next month or so. Please go ahead and ask that question. I think he's the best person to answer that. So that's the thing. Amit, we don't have questions, or in the interest of the time, you are saying we should conclude? So let's take last two questions because unfortunately I have not been coming in front of them very often. I'm also feeling a little guilty. Lalita is saying, what is the scope for this demand? I think, Amir, you had made a very cardinal mistake. Na? We don't take stock-specific questions, am I right? Ma'am, please look at the score of the company of Avenue Supermart on the website and please decide what needs to be done. Amir, please don't take any company-specific. Amir को थोड़ा नींद आ जा लगता है, थोड़ा lazy हो गया लगता है, हाँ, fatigue हो गया. Pawan, is there any change in the view of paper stocks? So my answer is that, paper stocks in terms of valuations are extremely good. Am I right? But they are not moving as much as they would have, I would have allowed them to do. Some of the companies are having strong promoters. Eventually, the law of average should catch up, and hence they should perform, and they should outperform. So my view has not changed. I believe that they should outperform going forward. Yeah. Ajay is saying, will you kindly let me know if business platforms like MCX, BSE, etc. sufficient growth potential? See, if you look at the business model, okay, I don't want to company specific, but if you look at this business model, the extremely robust business model. More and more people are coming to the investment side. There is a shift happening from savings to the investment. In 2020, near about 1.5 crore unique mutual fund investors. As I speak to you, there are near about 4.5 crore unique mutual fund investors. Unique. Threefold jump. And that number will keep increasing further. In other words, the community of investing is going to increase. And if that is going to increase, it should benefit platforms like this, number one. Number two, I was reading one data. Where is the household savings are parked in? Only 5% is in equity. So despite big rally in the market, the total household savings, only 5% is in equity, little above 5%. Now that number can further expand. Can it go to 10%? Can it go to 15%? My answer is yes. If that is so, the platform should get benefit of that. So my sense is that platform like this has an excellent opportunity to grow. These are not the recommendation to buy. I'm commenting on not on the company's valuations. I'm commenting on the business prospect because your question was on the business prospect. So please remember, I am not giving any recommendation on MCX or BSE. Please look at our score on the company, on the MarketsMojo side and decide. But in terms of growth prospects, I believe they have a great potential. With this, thanks a lot everyone taking time out. Have a great weekend. Enjoy a good time with the family and the friends. See you next week. Most probably, I should be in front of you again next week. Good night. Take care.